Hey guys, F1 Fanatic here. Today was finally the day that Codemasters decided to release some information about Formula 1 2014. And I'm sure it's been a day that Codemasters F1 fans have been waiting for a long time, including myself. So, I've gathered together some details that I found on the press release that Codemasters released today, and I'm looking to break it all down for you and also give an inside take on what I believe on F1 2014. So, without further ado, let's get underway. Well, F1 2014 will be released on October 17th and October 21st in the United States. F1 2013 actually came out 2 weeks before the 17th. It came out on the 8th of October as well as the 4th, which, as history holds, it's once again later than usual. But this F1 2014 will actually be on current gen just like usual, but there will not be a next-gen release of F1 2014. That means no PS4 release, no Xbox One release. However, that comes with a twist because they actually announced that they're going to be releasing a totally brand new game. It's to my belief that there's no ties whatsoever to the current-gen series, and it's just going to be a brand new game, and apparently one of the features it will have is that it'll have digital updates that update the game as the season unfolds in the 2015 season. So this is basically looking at next season's game. And I think it's a very good thing that, you could start out at the beginning of the season instead of having to wait to get the game at the end of the season, which I think we can all agree that doesn't really necessarily make sense because by the time you get the game, the season's done. I mean, what is there to follow? But I think it's a great thing for Codemasters to do, and I think absolutely the next-gen consoles is going to make it even better playing it, and I think there's going to be a lot of things to look forward to with this. There hasn't been an official title announced yet, but, if that comes out, I will be sure enough to bring that to you. But let's get down to the details of Formula 1 2014. One of the new things in Formula 1 2014 will be a new driver evaluation system, which there's a quote that was in the press release that states, quote, "It quickly identifies the player's ability and tunes the game settings to an appropriate level, while regraded difficulty settings enable players to complete at incrementally higher levels as they become more experienced." Basically, my interpretation of that is that essentially you just get a couple demo laps, you take a couple laps around some track, I don't know what track, but a track, we'll say, and my assumption is that the game basically tunes the car for you, so you're good to go for any of your races. And I'm figuring that, plus any adjusting the difficulty level to the level of your choosing, that could shape up to be potentially the best driving performance you could have in the game. So I think this would be a very key thing to add to the driving ability of, players that play. I think it is a pretty fantastic thing to see that now they're getting towards the technical side of it where they can really tune it to however the player wants to drive. So I think that's a very great thing. And also, speaking of difficulty levels, it actually comes with a new very easy level in F1 2014 to add to the numerous amount, probably like 5 or 6 different difficulty settings that F1 2013 had. But yeah, that'll be one more to add to F1 2014. So it'll probably be, I'm not sure about the quite number, but I want to say it's probably about like 6 or 7. And that's, as strange as that sounds, that's pretty much it from all I could find in the press release. I will refer back to the personal wish list that I released to you in the last episode. A couple things in case you didn't watch that video I had on my list was some formation laps, more classic cars, helmet cam instead of a cockpit cam, all practice and qualifying sessions, and equivalent durations of practice and qualifying sessions. However, I was kind of frustrated to find that the top 3 were ultimately ruled out by Codemasters via tweet exchanges from several fans of the game. I remember I was looking up on Twitter and seeing a couple exchanges between Codemaster F1's account and some fans of the game, and already off the bat I read a couple tweets and already found out that formation laps, they're gone. More classic cars, they're gone. And helmet cam instead of a cockpit cam, it's gone. So already those are the top 3 things on my list that have been ruled out completely by Codemasters, and that has become to be a little frustrating to me. But I will stay confident with F1 2014's release. I think those were 3 great things that could have made it a lot better. And I think the classic cars especially, that I think, at least for 2013 for me, that's what made me really want to play it, was those classic cars, because you get to relive those moments and recreate the great glorious times of the 80s and 90s. And that would have been a great thing to have in this game, but it's just not going to happen this year. But I would have absolutely loved Formation Laps as well. Formation Laps, ultimately, they kind of carry that nostalgic effect that Formula 1 has. And also, the helmet cam would have been a lot better, but that could seem realistically to come on PS4 rather than current gen. I could see that coming out on the next-gen consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, with their new Formula 1 game they will release in 2015. But those 3 things were ultimately ruled out, which kind of frustrated me a little bit, I won't lie, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is, you know? Codemasters had in mind what they were going to do, and that was their mindset, you know? That's what they've been focused on for the past year or so that they've been making the game, so, you know, there's not much more you can say that'll change anything, you know? I mean, it is what it is. But it leads me to my final verdict. To brutally put it, it was kind of a disappointment to me, because there was even this trailer that came with it too, that I'll let you watch it right now and see what you think. Alright, that was the trailer that they officially announced today, as well as the information about the game today. So, again, like I said, to brutally put it, it was kind of a disappointment for all the announcements that came out today. I don't know if I just had a lot more in mind and I didn't get a lot more, if that makes sense, but I don't know, I just wasn't very happy with, or I wasn't really satisfied with the information that came out today. I don't know, it's very frustrating and kind of confusing a little bit, but, I mean, again, it is what it is, you know? And I think, definitely, though, the couple of things that will make F1 2014 very interesting, and probably more interesting than any other Codemasters F1 game, or any F1 game in general, possibly, is the fact of the new changes to the Formula 1 sporting regulations with the new engines and turbochargers. You know, as ugly as those engines sound, you know, maybe they will sound good in the game, and it makes it sound a lot different. But, you know, we'll still hold confidence that Codemasters will hopefully prove me wrong with this game. But, I don't know. I don't want to fully judge the game, but that's just my thought about it at the moment. And, you know, I won't make my final verdict until the game is played. But this final verdict basically is the final verdict for today's announcement, not the actual game. I will make that note right now. But, like I said, however, I will still have confidence that F1 2014 will be absolutely phenomenal. But, I don't know. I guess to put it in one short little statement, disappointing but hopeful. I think it was a disappointment for today's announcements. However, there's still time. We'll have to wait and see how the whole thing pans out. But as for today, it was a bit of a disappointment. But I'm still hopeful and grateful that F1 2014 will be a great game again, just like 2013. And absolutely, the first chance I get to grab hands on it, I will absolutely grab it and it will be a wonderful game to play. And even more wonderful will be the next-gen game coming out in early 2015. But that's all I have in store for today, but I'd love for you to please subscribe to the channel and also give this video a like and maybe even comment and give me your input on F1 2014. What do you think about the details released today, and how do you think F1 2014 will pan out later on into October when it releases? What do you think will be the final result of it? But yeah, that's about all I have. This is F1 Fanatics signing out. Till next time, folks. See you later.